It's 3 a.m., you're wide awake, your chest is tight, your mind won't shut off, and you're replaying every fight, every text, every what if conversation. And you promise yourself that tomorrow will be different, that you won't check up on her. But tomorrow night, you're right back here again. Sound familiar? I call this the 3 a.m. test. And if this is happening to you, it's not because you're going crazy, it's because you're trauma bonded. And if you're a man watching this video, you've probably been told to man up, just move on, get over it. There's plenty of fish in the sea. But if you're stuck in this mental spiral, you already know it's not that simple. It's not about willpower or distraction. It's about your brain's reward pathways being hijacked. It's about learning how to rewire your nervous system so you can finally sleep at night. I'm Lise Leblanc, therapist, author, and life coach, and I specialize in helping men break free from toxic relationships with narcissistic women who left them feeling broken, confused, and obsessed. So in this video, I'm going to explain what I call the 3 a.m. test, why it's one of the clearest signs that you're still trauma bonded, and stick with me until the end because I'm going to share 5 powerful techniques that you can use right away to stop this 3 a.m. spiral and get your mind back under control. Let me start by telling you about one of my clients, and we'll call him Will. Will used to be the guy who had his life together, and then he got into a new relationship. And at first, he was on top of the world, closing big deals at work, hitting the gym. He was full of confidence and energy. But as the relationship went on, the chaos started creeping in, the drama, the criticism, the sudden withdrawals of affection, the devaluation, and suddenly he was tanking at work. He was unproductive, staring at his screen. His mind was racing, deadlines passed, projects piled up, and his drive was completely gone. And he'd sit there rereading old text messages instead of answering his emails. And his friends noticed that he was talking about her nonstop, analyzing all of their interactions, saying the same stories over and over, trying to make sense of it all. Some of them were patient, but others just told him to move on. And some even started to distance themselves, not knowing how to help and feeling dragged down by his dark energy. So the man who'd once inspired them was now in this endless loop trying to decode what happened. Even the things that had once brought him joy, like his hobbies, his weekends and time with friends and family, felt pointless. Nothing compared to her attention and nothing cut as deep as her rejection. And by the time the relationship ended, he barely recognized himself. He wasn't the strong, driven man from before. He was empty, obsessed. His entire identity had been hijacked, and the nights were the worst. 3 a.m., everything hit him like a freight train. He replayed the arguments, scrolled her social media, checked old photos and messages, searching for answers that would never fully satisfy him. And he'd tell himself he was going to stop these loops and stop checking on her. But weeks and months passed and nothing was changing. Well, it kind of was changing. It was getting worse. And Will felt like he was a shell of the man he used to be. He felt tormented, like he was losing his mind. And that is the 3 a.m. test. If she still owns your nights and controls your nervous system, you're not just heartbroken, you're trauma bonded. The 3 a.m. spiral is your nervous system trying to force coherence and closure where none exists. And when everything goes quiet and there's no distractions, like in the middle of the night when your defenses are down, that's when your subconscious mind goes into overdrive, replaying the chaos, desperately trying to solve the puzzle. And you're stuck between 2 versions of her. The woman who made you feel so alive, so loved, so desired, like her hero. And the woman who criticized you, gaslit you, and left you doubting your own sanity. And that's cognitive dissonance. And it is brutal. And every time you choose to believe the good version of her was the real and only version, you reinforce that bond. You end up chasing the highs and ignoring the lows, and you stay stuck in a cycle of hope, even if it's just in your mind. And here's the truth. Your mind can't stand an unsolved puzzle, so it keeps pushing you back into that rumination in an effort to solve it. But you will never find a solution, and the only way to find peace is to stop trying to decode her and start rewiring your nervous system. Because here's what's really happening. Your reward system, your dopamine pathways, have been hijacked, and they are now trained to fire at those highs, crave the relief after the lows, and keep you hooked on the chaos. Every time she idealized you, showered you with affection, told you you were the chosen one, your brain released dopamine. But every time she pulled away, punished you with silence, or flipped into rage, your body was flooded with cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones. And when she would finally come back, apologizing, acting vulnerable, or giving you affection again, it gave you that temporary relief. And then it just started all over again. And instead of recognizing the cycle of abuse, your nervous system got hooked. It got wired to crave those highs and lows, those unpredictable rewards and relief that only she could provide. That's why the 3 a.m. test matters so much, because it reveals where your nervous system is at in terms of the dependency and addiction to her. So it's time to stop trying to find solutions and take these steps instead. Step 1, when you wake up at 3 a.m., take 2 quick inhales through your nose and 1 long exhale through your mouth. Do this 5 times or as long as needed, because this is the fastest proven way to drop your heart rate and calm your nervous system. Step 2, instead of letting your brain replay her betrayals, count backwards from 100 by 7 to cut off rumination patterns. Step 3, if your mind still won't quit, sit up, put your feet firmly on the ground, breathe deeply, and tell yourself, I'm safe. Step 4, quickly dump 1 or 2 thoughts into a notebook. Just a few lines. I'm free. I deserve better. It's over. And close the notebook. Step 5, keep a physical book by your bedside. Nothing too exciting, and read until your eyes get heavy. Or put on a short guided meditation that you reserve for 3 a.m. Both of these options help calm your mind and train your body to drift back to sleep. The 3 a.m. test is a sign that your nervous system is still trying to process the chaos and make sense of the contradictions. And every time you resist going into that mental spiral, you are rewiring your brain. And that's when you'll know that she no longer controls you. If you found this content helpful and you want a clear step-by-step path to break the trauma bond, to rebuild your confidence and reclaim your nervous system, then this is exactly what I will help you with in my toxic relationship recovery program. And if you're ready to finally pass the 3 a.m. test, click on the link below and get started today.